So what I want to do is, as we said, the context of the presentation and the importance of Microsoft Partner Network and setting the foundation, I'd like to hand over to Jon Roskill real quick to share some thoughts and his input and feedback around Microsoft Partner Network and working with our partners. So, Jon?
All right. Thanks, Eric, and good morning, everyone. Those of you on the East Coast are up at a decent time. It's quite early for us out here on the West Coast, or at least for me. I'm not a morning person, but we're excited to be here, and thank you for joining us. The slide up in front is to really answer the question that we get in and talk about my overarching viewpoint on the channel and how we're approaching it from the MPN design and our core principles. Microsoft has been and always will be a business with partners at our cornerstone. If you look at today, over 95% of the revenue from Microsoft is driven with and through partners. And we're getting ready to release a new version of some of the IDC data. We do studies with them about once a year, and we've got the latest version of that coming out. And one of the most interesting points for me is that for every dollar of Microsoft software that is sold, partners make an $8.70 multiplier on top of that. And so when you multiply the $8.70 out by the 65 roughly billion that Microsoft does, you wind up in the $580 million range. And the thing that I think is kind of amusing about that is if you put it on the world GDP stack rank, it puts us between Ghana and Switzerland at something like number 38 of the world economies. So collectively, our ecosystem is quite significant. Partners come in all sizes and all shapes. I think the most important point is that they're there to help service our customers, our collective customers, from the 15 million small businesses around the world all the way up through our biggest enterprises. And and we have a variety of programs that Julie's going to talk a little bit more about around how we match the needs of the partners and ultimately the customers. Now, from my perspective, since I walked into the job now a little over 8 months ago, we've been working through this first year really around landing some of the transitions that were underway from the team previously. So starting off with the core Microsoft Partner Network that Eric mentioned, obviously we're moving to a new competency-based model. We're pretty excited about where we are on that. We're through the major enrollment wave that happens in January and into the beginning of February, and very, very good response and good feedback. So I guess let me say a very clear thank you to all of the partners out there who've gone ahead and completed their updating competency. And now from talking to partners are very excited about the opportunity to really stand out and differentiate themselves in this space through a particular competency. The second area is clearly the product side, significant transitions going on as we move to the cloud. And this is an area where we're working through partners on both product transition, how their businesses transition, and the profitability around all of that. And that's one of the top areas that we do get questions, and we'll talk a bit more about that a little later this morning. And then lastly, behind all of that is our channel incentive structure, where over $4 billion worth of channel incentives is shaped around the programs that we put into market. And we've made some significant changes in that area that are essentially happening over this fiscal year and then into the beginning of next. But one of the ones I think we're most excited about is the solution incentive program that we've been able to put out, which puts real meat behind the gold competency. And it starts to provide additional revenue opportunities for partners that are able to go off and achieve that gold competency. So, again, the network overall, we view it as a way to differentiate and stand out from the competition. Julie's going to talk more about some of the core resources we're providing to allow partners to succeed. But obviously inside the network, we've got training both for technical, and one of the things we're seeing tremendous response from that all of you might not be aware of is for the new sales accreditation that we've put out there. And I think the last number we saw was it was over 6,000 people have gone through that. I'm sure that number is old at this point, so it's even higher. But a response there that's exceeding our expectation. Let me just say it that way.